Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my darling co-host, Phil. How are you today, Phil?
I'm doing great, Chantele. How are you today?
I'm a little bit tired, but I want to say I love watching this
Oh,
this version of Drag Race. I just enjoy it.
yeah.
What are your overall thoughts of this damn episode?
Wow. It actually felt like there was a big shift for some ways there. Some people, I think, took that time off to really think about what they were doing and they improved themselves. And some people, I think, came back not so great.
I think we're going to get into it. And if it's your first time on Reality Realness, well, then welcome. We are very happy to have you join us. Please subscribe. And once you subscribe, let us know in the comments about the fact that you just subscribed and tell us like what your favorite part about this episode. Because today we're talking about UK's Rupauls Drag Race UK episode. What episode is it?
5.
Episode 5. It's, to me, I really enjoy it. Like, I really like the creativity that we get to see in it. The overall episode, I felt it was pretty seamless considering there was 7 months in between, and like that's a lot of life to have lived. So it didn't seem disjointed in my opinion. So I really like that, and I like that I still liked the queens. They didn't change their personalities or aesthetics or whatnot. Like I still liked their dynamic. It didn't feel as though time had passed. So I was really happy to step back into Drag Race.
Yeah.
Super duper great. So basically this is the COVID-19 like episode. I think that they might have done a little bit of like Zoom at home, like getting the call being like, would you want to come back? Do you want to come back? Like something just to see maybe a little bit of like their homes or how they were living throughout the pandemic. They had all the queens coming in. I believe it was Ahura came in first. And I thought, actually, I really liked her outfit. I think I'm just like a big fan of Ahura. I have a crush on her for sure.
The blue suit. The blue suit. It was
blue
nice.
suit. Well, just like, was she wearing pants under there? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Who came next? I really liked her outfit though.
So it was Ahura, then it was Bimini came in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Ellie.
Yeah.
Lawrence came in, said the train was delayed by a leaf. Sister came in and looked a bit different.
Yes.
Tace and then Tia.
Perfect. Well, when Lawrence though, like when they all got around the mirror, like they're kind of bringing in the mirror talk again, but Lawrence was pissed that that Bimini quit. And
Ginny.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say Bimini. Yeah. Is this the ends and the eyes?
The yellow hair.
Hairs. And anyways, pardon me. So I'm going to say Bimini again. So Ginny is that she quit, and sister apparently said that she didn't even know that Ginny had quit. Like she was dancing, and then she realized that she wasn't on the stage anymore. So she kind of was already feeling like, oh, did I actually win that, or did I win that by default? What do you think? Do you think that she won it, or did she win by default?
Well, I mean, I think that I don't know if you could call that a win. I think it was sort of she was in trouble. Sister was in trouble that episode for sure, because it's been a couple episodes of her not really bringing too much. So she got a lifeline given to her, an olive branch from Ginny. Ginny just said, "Here's a life preserver. I'm out of here," and saved her. But I don't know. I don't know how Ginny would have performed. I would have thought that song would have been a good Ginny song. She did go out with some drama, like the way she did it, so she probably could have done a good thing. But it really felt like none of them were overly impressed with Ginny doing that.
Hey Dee, how are you? Thanks for joining us here. If you have any comments about the episode, please let us know. I know you watched the show as well, so please give us your insight. Ahura though doesn't think that Ginny should have been in the bottom. What do you think about that call out?
I agree. Well, I mean, I think we agreed last week. We said that the bottom two in that case should have been Sister and Veronica based on the challenge. And really, we weren't overly impressed with their outfits. Like the makeup was good, but the dress wasn't that great on Veronica. So, yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a surprise. But again, Ginny quit. I love Ginny, but if Ginny quit, she's not. We want the people who want to win to be there.
Yeah, we definitely do. And I don't know what it is, but Veronica was just so annoying just with how she was even defending herself. What is it? Can you explain to me, Phil, why does she bug me so much?
I don't know. She's a bit of a whiny voice. I think that helps. But I don't know. I was kind of upset. Yeah, I was like, she seems to be, I don't know. She's that queen that people didn't know coming into it. I think she's stuck in this whole I've got to prove myself and everybody's looking down on me, but she's not really proving it. Like she proved it in the one challenge that she could act, but she didn't act well in this one. This one was, yeah, so.
Well, and Taste like was even putting it in a way that like I thought it was digestible as constructive, being like, we're not saying that you're not great. We're saying that you didn't perform well in this challenge, and like you didn't. Like these are just facts. Yeah. Like if you are better than this, then show it, because at this point it wasn't a hit.
We didn't see it.
Exactly. I guess like how she defends herself just like drives me crazy. And she had that pig nose on. I was just like, because me was so angry. I was so supporting her first week, and now I'm like, no. So did you notice that when all the queens came back after the 7 months? I can't believe 7 months, so long. They're doing like this, their elbow bumps. They were everybody's like, hey, how are you? Hi. It's so weird with the new culture, and like, you know, that's something very different. The fact that like I can't leave my house without wearing a mask anymore, like it's so strange to me.
I was shocked they didn't have like, I thought that when they came back into the workroom, they'd like have some sort of mask each of them and take them off, like have like a reveal or something.
I mean, I would have loved that. It is surprising. Maybe they'd have like the bloody mouths that they always have underneath the mask, you know? But yeah, I guess like I wish that they address a little bit more the COVID thing. So like I said, like seeing them just in their regular life, I guess it would be difficult having like a film crew or whatever there, but I don't know. I would like to see a little Zoom call of all the queens, how they were and how they feel about coming back to the competition.
Yeah, so, that would have been.
And then if they came in with their mask on, be like, I'm back. And, you know, I agree with the mask thing. So Lawrence wants to know about, no, that wasn't Lawrence, but the rebirth of Sister. So what did she actually have done? So she got new teeth. Did she get a nose job, or was they just like joking with her and her cheeks?
Yeah, I think she did she did look a little bit different. So I think she got a nose job. She had her eyes looked a bit, I mean, don't look at my eyes, but her eyes looked a bit better. But no, I thought she looked better than what she did before.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she still looks similar. The teeth are a little bit much, I find. Maybe like she has like one too many teeth in, like just too many maybe. Yeah. But I feel as though, just jumping to the end of the episode when she was painted, that she paints better. Like her paint looks better with her new face, you know? Like, you don't think so?
Nope, I agree. Okay. Yeah. I thought this episode she improved.
Veneers is what Ron is saying. Why won't you let me? Oh, it won't let me post it. Why won't it let me post it? Okay, well, it's not letting me post anything today. Why?
Oh.
Well, if it maybe frozen or something.
Needs a rest.
Yeah, maybe we'll give it a little rest.
Ron Bowman says veneers.
My finger won't even work either. Interesting. Oh, well, okay. Ron says veneers, for anybody that is curious as to why I didn't put his comment on the screen.
Love it.
So we were talking about it being like botched and the body. Oh, there it is.
Veneers. No, it's his veneers.
Weird.
All right. StreamYard tonight.
I mean, it is the new moon, so maybe like a lot of energy is like passing.
Ooh.
Maybe
it was sister coming out and saying like, "Don't talk about it."
Years.
Those are real teeth.
So Ahura and Tace are living together now. Do you think they're living together as friends or more than friends?
Oh, well, I think they've got to be more than friends. I think the fact that they went home together to spend COVID together.
That's pretty. I think it's pretty cute. I like them together. But I guess like the universe was answering my prayers. Not that I want anybody to test positive, but Veronica wasn't able to come back to the competition because she tested positive for COVID-19. So I hope that she's gotten better and she's okay, because I know a lot of people have had lasting complications from COVID. So I hope she's better, but I'm kind of happy she's not here.
Well, she's coming back. She'll be season 3.
Oh, maybe if she decides to take, maybe she's gonna be famous after, and she's gonna like not want to, stoop down to Rupaul's Drag Race. Are you happy that she's gone, or that she's not gonna be back, or what do you?
I'm not. I mean, I'm not happy that she's gone. I would have liked to see her get to the point that she was going to. I didn't see her as being one of the people that would win. But no, I wouldn't wish that on people.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like also wanted to see how the competition would actually play out.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see that why you'd want to keep her around, but I guess she was just grating on my nerves as a personality that I don't know if I wanted to experience that portion of her anymore. But I always like seeing what people bring to the runway, etc. So Rupaul walks in wearing a neon wig. Definitely social distance. I feel like that's the only time they made me feel as though there's something different from how the camera was set up. It seemed like there's a lot more distance between like 12 feet instead of like when they usually probably did like 4 or 5 feet. So there was a little bit of COVID precautions that were happening there. And so I guess I blinked, but should she call the people in the mascot outfits? How did that work?
Yeah, so Rue came in with that neon yellow wig, which was done as shade to Ginny Lemon. Like that was so shady. Like that was like, I'm going to put a yellow wig on, and you're not the only one that can wear this wig. Like that was part of it.
I didn't even think of that. Are you shady?
Oh, for sure. And then
is that why you could think of something like that? Because it would never have crossed my mind.
Oh, I'm shady. Of course I'm shady. I hate everybody.
I thought that he was throwing shade. I was just kind of like, oh, it's an interesting look. I don't know if I like it, but sing.
And then he said, "Oh, Brit crew," and then the mascots came in, and
okay, and then they took off the hat.
Yes.
And we had the first, 3 out of 4 evicted queens. So we had Joe Black was there, and Cherry Valentine, is that what I'll say?
Yep.
And Estina Mandala. So those are the 3. And the police over here is mentioning because Ginny Lemon left and didn't want to return. Do you think she didn't want to return or didn't get invited to actually return?
Because she didn't. She chose not to do the lip sync. She had not been invited to come back because she had already had hers.
So that was really interesting, though. How do you think Ginny feels about that, though? Do you think that she wishes?
She doesn't care.
Because you think this, or she said this on Instagram, or
on Twitter. I've read she's happy. I think with how everything went. I don't think that. I think she's still. People are actually. There's a lot of positive feedback about her leaving. I think people thought she did it in a good way, but I don't know.
I hated it though. I hated it. I wanted her to just like, even if she just stood there.
Yeah.
I would have rather her just stand there than like walk off and leave. I think it's kind of poor sportsmanship, in my opinion. Even if you want your friend to stay in the game, like let it play out how it's supposed to play out. Like, or win the lip sync and then maybe, no, I don't know if that would be better, but, and then say like, hey, I don't know if this competition's meant for me. Like I wanted to finish it, follow through, but I want to leave and I would like for my friend to stay in this game. Yeah. And maybe she would have stayed like that.
But so Rue, you know, she did her thing because Rue is the queen and is the boss. And to this episode, she let people know she's the boss and she's not going to take it anymore. And I think that some of all of this, the queens, the way that they've been acting, Rue needed to put her foot down. So
I know. I can't wait to talk more about that. So I was surprised that it was up to the queens to decide who deserved a second chance. I wish that there was like a challenge that the three of them got to do, or even if they came in a look, like the fact that they were in their boy versions of themselves and then, you know, wearing a mascot. I didn't know if it showcased what they were going to be bringing back and if it has been evolved since the, 7 months has passed. So I just didn't know if it was fair. But I do think that the outcome of who went back ended up being fair. So for Joe, Cherry, and Estina were the three. Cherry didn't get any votes, but Ellie, Tia, Sister, and Lawrence voted back in Joe, and Ahura and Bimini voted back in Estina. So Joe was coming back into the competition. And I do think that Joe didn't deserve to go home first at the time. And so I did want him to have a second chance. What about you? Did you feel like he was the most deserving?
I would have, because we've been shocked for most of the eliminations, I would have been fine with any of the three coming back because I think that all three of them had something still to show. I was okay with Joe coming back. I was like, okay, let's see what he can do. He's quite a theatrical, so he's a different type of queen. I think Cherry, unfortunately, her speech wasn't good. Like, I think she basically said that she was the best, and I was like, well, that's not right because you're out. Like, you're trying to get back in, so don't say you're the best. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I thought Joe was. I thought that I was hopeful for Joe. Coming back. So I'm glad that he did. I had got to showcase some stuff, but we'll get into it.
We will get into it. I felt that he deserved it the most. I was the most mad when he went first because there's still, even in the competition now, people that I'd rather him be there over, unfortunately. So he's back in the competition. But the other two queens are going to receive a special party bag, and they have like a one-night stay at a stay at a fancy hotel, which is a nice parting gift, at least. No,
oh, yeah, stick it to Ginny some more. No gift for you, Ginny.
Do you think that's the reason why they got gifts? Is because Ginny? Really? I didn't.
No.
Rupaul kept the last one. It's like, this is mine.
It's like, this one could have went to you, Ginny, but I'm using it.
So Ahura thinks that Joe is tough competition, and so she's kind of like nervous that he would be coming back into the competition, which is, I agree. So the main stage challenge, though, is going to be representing UK's Eurovision Song Contest. And the song is going to be UK, hun? I thought that was a nice pun. I was like, I can't wait to see what is going on here. So basically, they're going to have to write the lyrics. They're going to have to style a look, and they're going to be in two groups and have group choreography that they're going to be kind of judged upon. And because Joe came back to the competition, he's going to be the team captain. And then Lawrence, because the last competition or whatever, main stage, he was the winner. So he was the other captain. So how did you think about these captains, and how do you think of the teams that they drew?
Yeah, so the captains, well, I mean, I guess it's the fair way to see the captains are, I mean, Eurovision is huge over in England. Like, I mean, they love Eurovision, and it's so campy, it's so cheesy, it's fantastic. Um, so, you know, I think that a theatrical person like Joe is a great person to put into that captain role. And I think actually Lawrence is somebody who embodies a lot of what Eurovision is about as well. So I think they actually were two strong captains. Then when the picks were made, um, I'm going to be nice and say maybe because Joe's been out of the competition and doesn't have a full assessment of everybody's capabilities. That was those were very strange picks.
Well, so he was saying that he wanted his team to be really camp. So Joe's team was Tia. Tia's the first pick off the board, which I guess is probably where you're being like, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Sister, and Ellie was the team that Joe picked. And then Lawrence picks Bimini, Tace, and Ahura. So Lawrence definitely picked Body Yaddy Yaddy, which I thought was interesting. But I did think that he had a stronger team in general, because I don't think that Tia, as much as I like her and I want her to embrace like her long legs and her statuesque physique, she is quite basic, and I wouldn't think that she'd be the first pick, and I wouldn't think that Ahura would be last pick, which is
not after last week or the last episode. I mean, Ahura can be funny and can do characters, and that's somewhat what Eurovision is with the singing. Like you're like, it's like S Club 7 on like acid. It's like it's like great, right? So you want like funny, like and cheesy songs, and yeah, like, and I think Ahura proved that she can do characters, and you know, I don't know. I sister being picked anything but in the last two picks confuses me to no degree, because they hadn't seen her in action since, and she's been boring.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't make sense.
Not good. So Joe's team decides to name themselves, I don't remember who said it, but Banana Drama.
Yeah.
What do you think about Banana Drama as a team name?
I like it. I mean, Bananarama, right, was huge in England, 80s girl band. Banana Drama, I mean, I don't think it's an awful name. And I liked it. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
What about you?
But I have to. I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
I was kind of like, okay, like if you're loving it, that's fine. Like,
yeah,
sure, Banana Drama, sure. But I have to say, United King Dolls.
Yeah,
was where it was at.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they brainstormed for longer and they just made it seem like she just like got popped out of the air. But like, I thought that was an exceptional name.
Great name. Great. And then Rue adds the extra part of like just do the initials, and it's like
D, like that is good. You want some UKD? Yeah, I do. I want some UKD. What are you doing? So yeah, I thought that they had a better name. I don't think that they thought about the initials of it, but like the fact that it's brought something into Rue for him to have like an epiphany and have some amazing, like they couldn't lose, I don't think, with UKD.
No.
You know what I mean? I thought that just their name alone was just better.
Well, if the other group had committed to Banana Drama and made themselves into a girl group that was like Bananarama, they may have had a chance, but they had no plan of what they were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not at all. Yeah. RuPaul talks to Banana Drama, talks to Tia. I can't remember what she said to Tia, though. I didn't write it down. I thought I'd remember, but I didn't. Did you?
I don't remember what she said to her. I don't remember.
Her stepping up and like...
Yeah.
shining, or probably something to that effect. I didn't write it down, so maybe it wasn't important. And that's when she goes over to the next group, wants some of that UKD. So which team were you rooting for at this point?
Rooting for, I was actually, I don't know if I was rooting. I think I was hoping that Joe's team could do something, because I looked at them and I was like they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Like they just don't seem strong. I want to see what they're going to do. Like, I hope that they really camp it up and make it funny. Like, they could do it. I mean, I knew that the other team was strong, and they were.
Yes, they have their looks on point. I think that that is what helps with the cohesion, is people that can paint really well and has really good wardrobe selects and like can make things look good. I found that Joe's team, I was just like, ooh, I don't know about this. How are they gonna pull this off? Dance and choreography? Who's gonna lead it? I'm like, I don't know about this. So I was very for, but not a drama.
When they were talking and they're like, oh, well, I've got something pink, and I've got something pink, and I've got pink and purple. And then one of them was like, I got something pink, but it's not that great. One of the other three should have said, well, let's make it good. Like, how do we make this good? Like,
Ron comes in here with the tea. I think Rupaul picked the winners because he loved the UKD. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying, is that it was a winning name, and the UKD is just so good that there was no way that team could lose, and especially with them all being able to paint really well and look really good. So I think that they could have done no wrong with that name attached to that group. I think that they were winning no matter what. Can't let UKD lose. Say what? So they first are going off to record their lyrics that they created. When I heard the name, I wrote it down, like how it was sounding. I'm like, what the heck is this name? But it was MNEK, because they're like MNEK. And I'm like, what's MNEK?
Right.
MMINE. Like, I couldn't figure it out. Have you heard of MNEK?
He did appear, I believe, in the first season on one of the challenges. I think actually probably in a similar one when it was the two bands, the two girl group challenge.
What does he do? Like, is he a producer? Is he like a songwriter?
He's a music he's a music producer, but he may also be he may have his own music, or he records for famous people. Yeah.
Got it. I mean, I liked him. I liked his like tie-dye, like matchy jumpsuit, or like two-piece. Thought it was cool, super, super UK in my opinion. So I liked this part. Was there any of the raps that stood out to you?
I thought that I was scared for Joe when I heard him do his thing. I was like, oh, this, like, his words did, like, I was like, no, like, this isn't gonna go with this.
Though, what it was, okay, the line was Glenn Close but no cigar, I think it was, like, the timing, and he was like, Glenn Close but no cigar, or whatever it was, like, he had the syncopation off, like, so bizarre.
And I was just like, I don't, like, this isn't, like, it's not even funny, like, what he was saying. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like he's doing the same. He's a character. Like, he's coming across as a character, and he's not, it's very one-dimensional. I don't know. And I'm good. I'm sure people will not like me for saying that, because I was happy that he was coming back, but I think he was a real disappointment, and I really wish that one of the other two came back, because they would have brought it to this to this challenge.
I mean, it probably Well, imagine it was Estina.
Right?
Estina would have picked that same. Sorry, Lawrence, you would be on Banana Drama. And like the winner of the losers, probably. With him not being able to say cigar properly, it reminds me of when I was in Spanish class, and he would always talk about the right emphasis on the right syllable, like when he was talking about how it works in Spanish.
Right.
A lot of emphasis on certain syllables, and so it reminded me of my Spanish teacher. Just throwing that in there.
I will say, here we go. I'm gonna give somebody a compliment. I was impressed with Sister's confidence going into it, and I was like, we've got a new sister that's come back. Like, this is a different sister.
Well, she does say, "Can I rap fast with my giant teeth?" That was funny. Giant veneers, as Ron would probably say. And all I wrote down for Ellie was that she was okay. I wasn't really that impressed by Ellie. Tia was okay. I liked her line. Yeah. That'll be the last time you call me basic. I don't think it will be the last time we'll call her basic for whatever reason. She just...
Well, no. The runway showed that. It wasn't.
Basic. I like her though, but she's not good.
I like her. She's like really funny, and she's like a nice person. I like her for that way, but yeah.
It's just not great. Not great. So Lawrence on Banana Drama might have resulted in him being in the bottom with Tia. Oh my god, because they wouldn't have had good choreography.
Yeah. Oh, that could have been a big mess.
But he probably would have won though against Tia. I mean, okay, that lip sync. So, but he could have been on the bottom for sure because Sister was decent, and so was Ellie. So yeah, and Lawrence can't really dance. Woo, that would have been spicy. That would have been good, and that other group would have been even more fierce, I think. Or maybe not though. Maybe they would have like been like, "Oh my god, we're so amazing," and they might have overthunk it and like not hit the mark. I don't think so. Maybe. So Ahura was kind of sexing it up for the mic. Bimini was Bimini. I really like Bimini. We weren't really that into her, or I wasn't anyways, the first episode and a half. I liked her other silhouette. I know that the balloons didn't land with the paint in them, but I liked that corset that she was wearing, and I was like starting to like her a little bit more. And now I'm team Bimini.
Yeah, me too.
She's just like, she's kind of raunchy, and she's body, and she can dance. She doesn't take herself seriously. She goes for it. You know, she doesn't hold back. She goes all out. And so I really appreciate that she doesn't hold back. So right now, my loves, well, pretty much this whole team was my favorite people in the competition.
Yeah, I thought actually Bimini the last couple of weeks keeps going up. I thought last week actually I thought she deserved the win. I think if there was only one person from this week, I think it might have been Bimini again for me. I don't know. But that first episode, I was like, what is this person? I don't get this. Like that bathing suit.
It wasn't the look for me to sell RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
To be my friend, you know what I mean? Yeah. I could go out to the club in that outfit or whatever back in the day, but like it wasn't a showstopper in the good way for the first episode of RuPaul's Drag Race.
But her personality in last week's challenge and in this challenge, when we get to the actual performance, like was really great.
Really, really, really great. Taste, bars are fire. Like I like Taste's confidence. I think she looks great. I'm always interested to see what she does. I don't want her to fail ever. Like I'm always really rooting for her. So especially because she has so much confidence. So I don't want something really bad to happen, that she's like on the bottom of something or goes wrong. I'm hoping for the best for her. And she's good. And I love when Taste is doing her bars. Emanike is like twerking on the side. I'm like, yeah, she's feeling it. And Lawrence was just kind of talking. She wasn't good. I'm curious as to why Lawrence can't figure out how Lawrence can do rapping or songs, because I don't think it should be that hard for her.
Yeah, I think that where some queens needed to go and work on their looks, I think this might have been something that Lawrence probably was told from some of the other challenges, that this might have been something that Lawrence could have worked on in the 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily. I mean, listen, some people can't sing and they'll never be able to sing and whatever. But like learning to handle that, because you kind of know that this challenge is going to come up at some point. So if you struggled,
Okay, so what could you think she could do to help this out? So, like, would it be learning how to sing, or would it be figuring out what she should do with her voice to make it make sense? Like, be like, "Oh, I'm
yeah,
Lord," blah blah blah. Like, have his own like character that comes out, his singing version of himself. Maybe he could have worked on that, and that
I
actually
think
maybe come out if he saw like a musical theater vocal coach, maybe, because
yeah,
then a little bit more theatrics would happen, and maybe they could find his musical character or caricature of himself. But
yeah,
yeah, I was disappointed that he didn't work on it.
yeah. I think even just taking the time to write out lyrics and know your story of what things you want to get out, there's ways to get that out in a rap, and then just keep saying them over and over and over, and like put them into songs and make it
Well, like,
work.
what if she was lip syncing whatever she's saying? You know what I mean? Like she would be doing like little like what, but whatever, you know,
Yeah,
like so. I think she needs to stop being so afraid of the singing part of it and learn how to make it her own.
yeah.
Needs to like turn her attitude around about it, because she's not that bad. Like she's not good, but she's not that bad.
No, 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 no.
It's definitely something that she could master. So it could be also be age too. Like she hasn't had many years being like, oh, I can fix things or I can get better. Like she's probably always been told that she can't hold a tune, and then she's scared of it.
Oh,
So
for sure.
so
Oh,
hopefully with age she will embrace her voice and allow herself to sing. Really. So Banana Drama goes to the stage to learn some choreography or teach themselves some choreography. And Tia Coffee and Ellie Diamond are going to be the choreography captains of this team. And Ellie is not really down with Tia's choreography style, and neither am I.
yeah. I think going into it and saying we're going to do the least. We're not going to try. We're going to keep it as simple as possible. Um, like if I was Joe, who had just got back in, I would not be saying I need it to be even simpler. I would be saying, I picked you guys to be camp. What camp things can we do? How can we make this funny? If we need it to be simple, how do we make this like something that people will be like, oh, ha, ha, ha. Like
I don't
split
know
up, do stuff. Like
why Joe didn't take some of the reins here and make it a performance. And he allowed himself to be like, oh, we have to sing and dance, and I'm not good at that. As opposed to like, no, you're kind of creating a performance to this song, and you guys have rapped, and you can put some movement but within it,
yeah.
you know? So I think it was a missed opportunity for him to shine.
Oh, huge. And I honestly think that whatever they did, I don't even think he learned what they had done, because like half the song he wasn't doing what they were doing, and then he would just do the same thing over again, and I was like, oh my god, he's doing the exact same bad thing over it.
Wow, boy. But also though, Tia, like, what do you mean? Like, let's make it basic. You're going on all the time about how people say you're basic. You're not basic. Your lyrics say that you're not basic, and you just want to do like 1, 2, like super basic stuff. Like, if you're gonna do super basic, it has to be clean. It has to be unison. It has to
Yeah,
be very precise for it to work super basic.
yeah.
But it was still sloppy.
I mean, they're at 8, and they know that the other team is going to bring it. Like they're going to bring it. So now is not the time to go, let's not try.
Yeah, and like the moves that Ellie wanted to play, like easy, pretty easy stuff, and then everyone just like kiboshes it and was like, no, let's make it easier. Oh boy,
Like,
poor Ellie. Ellie took it like a champ, but I would have probably been like, no, this isn't how this is going down.
No.
Taste, though, is going to be the head of choreo for the other team, UKD, and Bimini was going to be assisting her here. And poor Lawrence, they just keep on showing that she can't get the choreography, can't get, the steps or whatnot. And so it is a little bit worrisome that some simple steps, she can't start on the correct foot or whatnot. Now, I have to say, I don't know if there's mirrors in the main stage when they're practicing. You could buy like roll-out mirrors because it's a lot easier to learn choreography
when you're
somebody that doesn't know how to pick up choreography when you have somebody dancing in front of you and you have a mirror there so you can match steps and put it in your body. But the problem is with that is when you take away the mirror, sometimes this makes people freeze up. So it's kind of like a catch-22 with what should work. But I know from experience that it's more challenging to learn choreography without having a mirror. So I'm going to give her that because she's not a trained dancer. It's hard sometimes to see what someone's doing and know or not know that you're doing it incorrectly. Do you know what I mean? If you're not a dancer.
I liked that Taste went about it in the way of, okay, we made a mistake. Let's start again and let's keep going. Because then it starts like you get to that memory part. The worry is, of course, if you run out of time, then you haven't got to everything. But I think that for Lawrence, I think that actually was probably very helpful that Taste was like, okay, now go back and we're going to start over and just and I'm not going to let you fail. We're going to do this together. And that's the way to go about it is because it's true. RuPaul's going to judge you as a 4. She's going to look for you guys. And if one person really fails, then it's a disaster. They'll get it, but you're going to get it too.
Right. Why don't you help her raise her up a bit? Exactly.
Yeah.
So Lawrence was talking, though, I guess after this, it was confessional, I think, about how he was feeling about being in lockdown and knowing that his career wasn't really valued in lockdown. I think they were getting ready. And, that is something that I've been thinking about because I do work in all the professions that I've ever really worked in has to do with interacting with people or performances or whatnot. So I work as an actor. I haven't done any acting work in almost a year. I used to be on a flight attendant. I haven't been on a plane since last March. I've worked in restaurants. I haven't worked in restaurants since last March. So I get what he feels like with just not being able to do what he loves to make money. But I do wish that he then decided to bring that into his home. So there was a lot that I saw of people doing drag shows over the internet. There was a lot of groups and people that wanted to create spaces for drag queens, especially over the internet. So what do you think about his feelings here and how he handled lockdown?
Yeah, I thought actually the one thing that I found interesting that he said was that he had somebody else living with him and they were both in the situation and it wasn't the happiest time to be living with somebody and all this. It sounds like there were some other issues that might have been coming up there. I mean, the drag queens, I know it's been tough and they have to work hard, and do these shows over the online. I mean, I know some that have been doing it since basically the beginning of lockdowns, the beginning of March, and it's lots of shows. You don't know how many people are watching. You don't know how many people are tipping and doing things like that. There's the merch and all of that. I mean, it's tough. I can imagine. I mean, there's so many jobs out there where it's so tough. Drag doesn't pay well regularly, I don't think, all the time, unless you're really good at it, or you do it often. So I can imagine it was quite tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm happy though that he's back in the competition. It did seem like he put on a few pounds. So I was worried that his clothes weren't going to be fitting him anymore. But then I remembered his mom had taught him how to sew. So he's going to be able to fix anything that he may have outgrown, we'll say. Yeah. So I'm still here for Lawrence. He's still young. and he's still someone that I'm rooting for. So I'm hoping that he does well in this competition this episode, because I was like, I don't want him to go home. I didn't want that to be a story, because he was kind of worried. He had a couple of voiceovers being like, it's been 7 months. Do I still have it? I haven't, am I still funny? Like, the momentum of the competition is gone.
Right. Like, I mean, he was top person. Like we said last week, like, oh, everybody else is in trouble here because Rue loves Lawrence. Like, and it went away for 7 months. So I'm sure that would eat at somebody if you're isolated at home and you're going, if this didn't happen, I probably would have won this. So will I still win this when I go back? Like,
exactly. So I'm interested in this journey, and this is also kind of telegraphing for me that he's going to get to the end. You know what I mean? Because like we just hear about his journey so much. But I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it right at this point. Him going to the end and winning, because he does.
Oh yeah, he's one of the strongest.
Definitely. So the first team goes. Now I was like, when it first came up, UK Dolls, UKD was first, and I was like, they're showing the good team first. I'm like, does that mean that Banana Drama is going to be better? Because I just didn't think that they would start with a bang.
Right.
But now I realize it's because they want the reaction from the audience or the judges. So I thought Ahura looked amazing. And I felt that Lawrence was really selling it. Like, she was able to bring her camp in. I didn't see her messing up any steps or whatever, or not looking confident. No. I thought that she really, really did a great job being so worried about how she was going to do in this part of the competition. So I was loving Lawrence. Taste's lyrics were a hit. Bimini, I was surprised even more by her flexibility and like jump into the splits off a chair. Like I can do the splits, and I wouldn't even jump and do the splits off a chair like that. Like no knee pads. Like what?
I thought that the performance was perfect Eurovision. It was so funny. The routine was great. The song was catchy, even in not just the chorus part, but like their parts. Like I'm looking forward to listening to the song.
I'm gonna listen to it again too. Yeah.
I thought it was great. I'm sure Ron and I will be pretending that we can do the dance when we can't. And it's gonna be good. Bimini, fantastic. When she did the drop was amazing. But even like her eyes to the judges, to the cameras, like she was playing it up. Taste, I thought, really was strong on the lyrics, and I actually thought Taste actually was quite a strong performer in this. They honestly
all really were, and
they all did good. Yeah.
About it was the part that it was smart that Taste did was that it was the chorus where they were all like laying down on each other and they're doing the little ass smacking thing. I was like, they brought something, they made it really camp, but they made it something that they could do multiple times so that it wouldn't be difficult for Lawrence to remember. And like, I'm just like, oh, when's the chorus coming back? So they can do like the little slap. Right. Like I wanted to see them do the little, because it was just so cute. Yeah. And I found that the judges were just feeling it. They were bopping it, smiling, like they were in that number. And I was like, there is no way that the other team could be better than this.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't just a regular Eurovision entry. It felt like a regular UK entry into Eurovision. Like these are where they have the silly choreograph and it's a cheesy song. Like it was perfect to what Eurovision is. So.
I loved it. I loved it so much. It made me so happy. It really did. I was so happy. And okay, what I wrote down is there is no way Banana Drama will beat them, is what I wrote. There's no way.
No way.
No way. And then all I wrote for them was I like Sisters look the best. That's all I wrote for the whole team. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It wasn't even bad. It was actually terrible. I thought all the looks, Sisters look was good. Ellie's look was good. I liked Sisters the best, to be fair. Tia's was way too basic. Joe's was quite basic as well with a short wig. I just like I didn't understand that there was no cohesion. I guess pink was the cohesion, but like a color isn't cohesion.
And what does that have to do with bananas?
Exactly. Like they should have done something to do with bananas.
Like they're yellow.
Something to do with drama. Like I don't know what. There was no cohesion other than the color, and that was not enough to rope this team into a win. It was abysmal. I was like, man, Tia, this could be it for you, because I don't.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was just like, my first reaction was, wow. I can only imagine what Estina and Sherry are thinking about being like, I totally would have kicked like this. I could have done so much better than this. I think Joe went into this and didn't learn anything from the first elimination, and he decided that he was just going to be I don't even think it's campy. This theatrical character that made no sense to the song or to anything. And he didn't even seem like he was part of the team. He seemed like he was doing his own thing. And that wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny.
It was a waste of him coming back. It really bothered me. Like, I was like, all these people have been saying how great this guy is. And I'm sorry, I don't think he's that great. Like, I don't get it.
At this point, I'm agreeing with you here. I was like, you came back to give me this? Yeah. Even his boots that he was wearing, I was like, I don't know. Everything about it, I was like, I'm not sold on this. I don't get this as a group look. I didn't like it. One thing I did like about both teams, though, it wasn't their idea, but how they had like the standing in front of the green screen, like photo shoot type thing. I thought that those two moments for both teams were cute. I did like that. But that had nothing to do with them. I think it was something planned by Rupaul on her own. But it gave me a lot of ideas. Like I was like, like I like green screen and doing something kind of cheesy, campy and Eurogamy. I'm like, let me keep that in here for later usage. Definitely a good idea. So the judges definitely did not look impressed at all. I don't know if they were just cutting to them having solemn faces, but I coming from the high of the first one to the low of that one, and how it seemed as though Joe not trying at all was a bit disrespectful to the competition and to the people that he beat to be there, and to the people that like voted for him to be there. I thought it was just a little bit of slap in the face for them seeing more potential than you were offering to give to them. Yeah. So it wasn't cute. But this runway was a good damn runway. Yeah. So it was, I believe, a seaside runway. Is that what it was?
Perfect. Perfect for England. Perfect seaside. Like
I used to go and pick rocks at the seaside. We did. I did like a rock collection and shell collection for them when we used to go to the beach. I loved it. So the first person that came out, I wrote down, yes, Bimini outfit on point. It was like this like full body blue lace and sheerness with an umbrella, and I think she had a skull cap on as well. It was just so good.
So good. So good. Great week for Bimini.
So good. I love you, Bimini. You really changed my mind here. Like, you're my favorite for sure. Because she's now reminding me, I used to love, I still like her, but when she was on the show, what's her name? Evie Oddly. I was like, ooh, Evie's she's so odd in the beginning before the show. She was my number one pick when we did the draft. And I was like, she's just amazing. Like, I love her. And there's something unpolished about Bimini that was like unpolished about Evie that I'm liking, but that she's also becoming more polished, which is working for me. So she has like the right amount of edge and polishedness, which is I'm enjoying.
Yeah, nope, I agree.
Next up is Tace. So what was she like? The actual beach, like sand, like it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so she was was she, or was she like netting? Like,
In netting. Oh, and there was all the shells in the net.
yeah, like a drag net sort of,
Yes.
maybe.
Whatever it was gorgeous. It
Great.
was sand color. It had like flecks of sparkle. She also had a skull cappy type thing, and her makeup was amazing. I thought the look was gorgeous. So first two coming out, I'm like, and you guys had UKD? There's not a chance.
No way.
A chance. The next up, Ahura has a bag of chips. Ahura, you look amazing. This was so smart. It looks good. Like sometimes it can look too crafty when people do something that's super conceptual like that. I even like the squirt bottle on the top of her head as like a little fascinator. Yeah. I thought she like thought outside of the box, executed amazingly, and I was like, oh my god, a third person coming out looking exceptional and fitting the brief so well.
Oh, I mean, seaside, that's what you do when you go to the seaside for dinner. You get fish and chips. Like, I mean,
in the newspaper.
In the newspaper. Wonderful.
I've done that so many times. Oh, and like how she had like she used the ketchup kind of like as like a mood, like a mood. Like I just like I loved it for creativity and thinking outside of the box. I was right now thumbs up for Ahura here.
And it was different for her, right? Like that's not what we would have expected from her. So.
No, and that's what I also love, that she still managed to look fashion, because that's more of her vibe, but she was a bag of crisps. Chips. And then even fucking Lawrence came out looking amazing in this PVC, like she was a life
life preserver.
Yeah. Like no diving on her ass. Like I was like, Lawrence, this is great. Not that I was surprised that Lawrence was so great, but it was a great concept that she executed really well, and it looked really good to me. So I was loving her orange wet look fantasy, and I was impressed by every single look from that team.
Yeah, it was a sunny day at the beach, or at the seaside for this team. Like it was like great. And then the storm came in.
Like, yeah. I mean, they gave this one praise, but Ellie as the seagull in the bathing suit, like it was okay, but I want to see the makeup a little bit. Sometimes I don't want like a full mask, because like I want to see the makeup. So maybe she did like the beak and then had like her own lashes and make her lashes be part of like the seagullness or whatever. But like I want to be able to recognize who it is when they come onto the runway. So it was okay. Yeah. It was interesting concept wise. What do you have to say?
I thought that like it looked good from the front, but actually when she turned around in the back, I was like, it wasn't really that great. Like it was kind of not the best costume. It looked like a costume that like there was nothing happening in the back, and I don't know. It reminded me of when Asia O'Hara put on the fish mask when she did the mermaid, when it was the mermaid challenge. She went like the opposite way and did like the fish as the head, and it was like, but we're not seeing your face.
Yeah, I want to see your face.
Yeah. Like I mean, it was talented, but
well, even if
it would have been interesting.
She ripped off the face, and then she had her own face like done up or something, like a fabric egg moment. Like that would have been something. I just didn't see her face, and so especially because she paints really well, I would have liked to see how she would have painted a seagull look, you know. So it was okay though. It wasn't bad, but it definitely was the fifth out of all the ones that have gone so far. We see Tia with a good concept, but terrible execution. I was like, what are you wearing? You're wearing a brown skirt and like a puffy white shirt And the only thing that I liked, what I wrote down, was that her head and face looked good. And like I liked whatever she was doing up here with like her hair and makeup.
Yeah, and even the cherry, like, I mean, when she was in the back later, even the cherry wouldn't stay on. Like, I mean, it was a bad costume. You couldn't tell it was a cone until she got up closer to the cameras, and you could see the lines. Like, yeah.
I don't like. This is what she should have done. I mean, I'm just thinking about it right now. But like, at least her bottom half doesn't have to look exactly like a cone. But what if she like made her legs and wore like some sort of like cross-hatching brown waffle tights or something, and showed off her legs being super long as the tights, and then like do something, I don't know, even with what is it called? Stuff like that white stuffing stuff, and like have it like voluminous or whatever around her, whatever, but have those long legs, and then have the voluminous come up, and maybe even around her head, and have it, I don't know, like have it look like, you know, ta-da, and then have the long legs. And I don't know. That's just me just thinking of something right now. But if I had to do that brief, I would not be putting on the runway whatever that was that Tia made.
No.
Except I liked the idea of the cherry fascinator.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, I mean, I even if the wig looked like ice cream or something, and then with the cherry, I don't know. It was just, this was what she came back with, and I hated to hear when she's like, "Oh well, all my other stuff is great, but this one, like," it's like, no, you had 7 months.
Well, and like you still chose to go on the runway looking like that.
Yeah.
She didn't know what she could do to fix that. Like, she felt that was good enough. Yeah. And I was like, that is a losing look to me. That's like a go home look. That's a go home look for sure. Yeah. And then Sister comes out in a controversial look. She also comes out with a bag of chips with a seagull on her head.
Well, now, I'm going to say this. The seagull is a nice touch, because that is what happens when you get your fish and chips. The birds go crazy and attack. Like, I mean, maybe just me, but that happens. So
true. That's so weird. Did someone call me? Anyways, that was weird. Yeah, no, I think that it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ihora's definitely was a more polished, finished look version of it. I didn't get necessarily why she had the ketchup on like the bottom half of her body. Maybe it was dripping. I don't know. I just didn't think the look looked as good, but the concept, as we know, works, and it's bigger. It just didn't look great to me. So it was kind of like, sorry, you did something the same as someone else and you just didn't do it as well.
Yeah.
I thought.
I do find the one argument, because I know Graham Norton, I think, said, was like, well, if you see somebody else wearing your outfit, like doing your outfit, one of you's got to change it. I mean, I don't know. Do all the girls have a second outfit that they bring for each theme? I don't, like, should they? Maybe they should.
Well, maybe they should, or maybe they should have figured out how to make it better. Because did she not see that Ahora's was better?
Yeah.
It was better.
Yeah.
It just was.
But for Sister, I will say, compared to the other weeks, I am being very nice and I am being honest. Sister did very well this week.
I think she was the best out of that group. Yes, I do. This week. And I thought that Joe's look was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
actually, Joe might have had one of the best looks.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, even with having the tickets from like going on any of the rides or whatnot, as his little scarf that was also standing out in the wind. And it looked like did they have a wind machine, or like did it really just look like it was that windy? Because I was like, at one point I was like, is there a wind machine? Because it was good.
No, I don't think there was. I mean, in the way that he theatrically moved across the stage, and he did a great job there. That's his saving grace. That's what he came back to do, and that will be good thing that we will remember Joe for.
Well, it's just kind of like, why didn't he bring some of that innovation to the friggin'? I think he must have just been intimidated by the dance and the choreography, that he didn't realize that he could just have led everybody to be like him and figure something out that would work for him to shine. Because that was like, that's what I love about the UK stuff, is people have these concepts that are exceptional. I think, you know, the fish and chips and this one are both two exceptional costume or ideas, concepts. And I find that I don't get that as often in the US version, people having such good innovation and creativity that's executed so well. I would say 5 out of the 8 of them was exceptional in their execution of their concepts. And I think that's very, very impressive. But I wasn't impressed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it is no surprise to anybody that the Victoria's team was United King Dolls, UKD. They were all the best anyways. There's no incorrect ruling here. They were the best. I did want them to choose one winner. I thought that they would do that, but instead they were all winners and they all received a badge. What do you think about her choosing just everybody to be a winner?
I would have preferred myself. I would have preferred that she chose one winner. I think that there's 1 or 2 people that need to get a badge because they have been doing really well. And I don't think that Lawrence was the best this week, and he's had quite a number. I think some of the other people helped Lawrence look good this week. So, you know, I think Taste deserves like some credit for that routine, because that was quite
making
amazing.
Lawrence look good. She made Lawrence look good.
Yeah. And I think took the time to make Lawrence look good. Like, yeah, definitely. And then, you know, Bimini, I think really did great. And even Ahura did really good too. Like, I think that all 3, like, I like it because they definitely were the better group, and they kicked butts. Like the other group was not good at all. So again, why did Joe pick these people?
I think he didn't know any better.
He wanted it to be camp, but did nothing camp in the thing, really. Like, they just, I don't know.
Wompity womp. So the judges, when they're looking to the bottom 4, we'll say, they felt that Ellie should be a bit bigger, which I definitely agree. She wasn't bad, but she didn't stand out for anything. She was just kind of like there. Tia, this is when they started to get kind of irritated. You know, Michelle started off with her not being able to dress for her body and not being able to accentuate her shape and her curves or lack thereof, but like at least enhancing them somehow. And she kind of says that next time she's going to do it. She's going to bring it. And Rue's like, that's what you said the last time. Which I thought I was surprised by that call out. Rue was like, the world is about to end. And like, I want to see more from you. Like, I didn't really think of it. It was kind of funny to me when she's like, the world is about to end and this you better drag. But she has a point. Like, if the world did end, this is what you want to go out in, like this terrible version of an ice cream cone. Like, do better. Like, you have what it takes to be a little bit better. What do you think about Rue starting her top starting to low?
We saw she didn't clap when they finished their performance. Like the rest of them clapped. Rue just sat there. I think, I think Tia Coffee, every week it seems like she learned the lesson at the beginning of the episode, and then it gets to the end of the episode and you go, oh, she's in the bottom again. She hasn't really learned it. And I get 7 months. So, and she's been told her problems. Like, she should have come in with a bang to prove that she
should have gone to like a model, like, or just started looking at fashion things online. Because if she just learned how to dress like a model, she would be able to figure out how to make herself look good. I just don't know. Sorry?
beautiful. Like, I mean, she is.
She just needs to learn how to dress and learn what her style is as Tia Coffee. She doesn't have a good aesthetic for her drag. Like the outfit that she's wearing for the pop routine, you're just like, why? Like, why do you even own that?
Yeah.
You know? So I think she really needs to study fashion and study what looks good on people that have similar bodies to her.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have a clue. And then, like, the cringe moment of the season is when Joe was getting his critique. And I believe Rue said that it looks like the pink dress that he was wearing came off the rack. And he proudly said H&M. And I was like, you should be shutting up. This is not funny to her right now at all. And she did not take that well.
No.
Did you think that she overreacted, or was it justified, or how do you feel about how she?
I think the fact that she did this and did the H&M, and she seemed like she was like smug and kind of proud of that, and was like, yeah, I knew it was a mistake to wear it, but I did anyways. Like, I don't care. Like, it just, I don't get it. It was such a waste to bring this person back, and they had such a chance to prove who they were and bring something. You know, on RuPaul's Drag Race, that almost always the person that comes back goes home.
Mm-hmm.
And that first time that the episode, and she really seemed like she could care less as soon as she got onto that stage. She's like, I'm done. And she was in a great outfit, but her attitude stunk. And
I'm trying to figure out like why, like maybe she just didn't try that hard because she didn't want to go home a second time and try hard or something. I don't know, but Rue had a good point. Like, if you're gonna wear something off the rack, make sure that it's like bedazzled the F out of it or rhinestone it out. I can't remember which exact word she used, but I find it interesting though. Estina didn't get clocked for that when she did the look though.
Right.
So I think it was because she was embodying a look and it wasn't a create something challenge that Estina didn't get in trouble for it. Or
I actually think that it was that whole boo ha 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 ha. I think that set Rue off a little bit because it was uncalled for to be that smug. Be like, you got called out and it's like, yep, that's what it was, H&M.
And I think she even swore, I don't know if I wrote down this quote correctly, but don't waste my time. I don't want to see fucking H&M on the runway.
Right. Like, now they've lost a sponsor, maybe.
Well, someone I watched with a group of people, and someone said that Rue has a deal with Old Navy, so like maybe that's why.
Maybe
fuck up my sponsorship. It's Old Navy. If you're gonna wear something, I don't know if they even have Old Navy out there though.
I remember when H&M, when it was like big over there, and it was like the place to go to get clothes, and now it's like H&M. What?
Well, it's actually still a good place over there to get clothes. Like, if you want something that looks good for not very much money, their buyers over there are quite good. Even their Zara is a lot better than the Zara that we have here, just because the buyers just choose better stuff. But it's not high quality unless it's like specialty lines within it. Yeah, but we haven't heard Rue swear. How many times have we heard Rue swear on the judges panel?
Not often. I mean, usually it's quite lighthearted. Like, don't fuck it up is probably the thing we only hear, but that's not like. No, she was set off there, and I think we probably didn't even see it all. But I think that there's a chance Joe came back in here with a bit of an attitude because he had been eliminated, and once he saw the writing on the wall with how the performances were being evaluated, I think he probably just was like, whatever, I know I'm going.
Well, I think he had a shot to stay, and
Yeah, that outfit could have saved him.
it really was close to saving him, I thought. So Tucked was a little bit. I wish we can see the actual whole episode of this Untucked, because it looked like it would have been a good one,
Yeah.
especially with sister copy.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Chipgate? Or like Seaside Chipgate?
Well, I love it. Was it Tace who brought it up? I love that they're not afraid to call it out and just be like, listen, you saw this outfit before you left. And I don't think Sister denies seeing the outfit. Like, I think she pretty much was like, yeah, I did see the outfit, but it's not exactly the same. It's like it is quite similar. Like, I mean, you got the ketchup stuff on it. Like,
it's actually exactly the same, except you put, instead of a ketchup bottle, you put a seagull on top. And the fact and how Sister was defending herself was being like, I pride myself on my creative ideas and whatnot. Yeah. It did, somebody pointed out, but it did sound defensive to me. I think Lawrence pointed it out, that it sounded defensive. And I just thought that there was another idea that she could have had instead of trying to better somebody else's idea.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, they were talking about this potential, like, there was some Baywatch idea, which I actually, the way that sounds to me, that sounds awful. Because it's not seaside, like, it's not Britain seaside, like, which was what I think the challenge was. So
yeah, Baywatch number. Yeah. I don't know how well it would have looked, because she's not a queen, I think, that could pull it off and be sexy, like,
unless she went the like Jennifer what's her name, Jennifer Coolidge way, with like the big lips and be like really silly and doing it. Maybe she could make that work, but
maybe. But I mean, I wish that she had done something different than Ahora's, because if I do want to see her creativity and what she brings to the table, and that idea was already done, and she didn't do it better. Yeah. And Michelle Visage agreed that she did not do it better. Yeah. So if you're going to copy it, you better be better. You better be better. They did talk a lot about how Rupaul was upset on the runway, and that she was like really, really mad. That's all I really wrote down about the Untucked portion. Was there anything else that I missed?
No, I mean, it's just frustrating when they say like, oh, like Tea and Coffee was like, yeah, and Rue's right. And it's just like, yeah, but like, you should have known that the last time. I don't know.
7 months ago. That is so lucky for them to get to have 7 months. Because I'd be like, oh my God, okay, I actually am not in the throes of a competition that, like, I don't have time to think and breathe and like get new ideas. I would be like, okay, we're coming back. Who knows how long it's going to be? Like, let me come back better. Like, I would have 100% used that as an opportunity to like change everything and research. And I think it was just a little bit lazy of Miss Tia Coffee.
And the fact that they get to come back, I mean, you know that there's all these other reality shows where once COVID hit, the show's been canceled. Like,
Done. And they had this opportunity, and she didn't decide to pick up a magazine or find a friend that knows how to sew, like something. She didn't use her time wisely. And so I was definitely disappointed in Miss Tia Coffee. And I didn't want her to go home, but if she went home, I was like, it serves her right, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely. So when they come back to the runway, Rue kind of apologizes, saying that she was hard on her earlier because she sees the potential. And I do think that's true, is that she's kind of annoyed with like having what we just talked about, having all this time and not coming back better. And so I think that's where the irritation level came in. So Elio is obviously safe. Sister's also safe. And we're going to have a lip sync between Joe and Tia. And I thought that Tia should go home without the lip sync. That Joe's second look was so well thought out that it would save him in this moment. And I didn't think that there was much that he needed to do to win the lip sync, but he didn't even do that much.
No.
I was like,
Yeah.
in the beginning, when he started doing his little bit theatrics, I'm like, okay, but it needs to get bigger, it needs to swell, like it needs to have some dynamics, and it just never changed.
Like his first lip sync when he went home, he did that elevator thing where he just sat there and stood there, and then it was like, and then this time he does that, and he's like, and then he goes, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Joe,
Perform.
please.
You're supposed to be this theater person. Like, perform.
Now, I feel bad because this lip sync was quite boring, but I got up to get a glass of water during it.
Yeah.
I just needed water before I wanted to watch the end of this lip sync. And it was to Don't Leave Me This Way. It was a cover by, was it the Commodoros or
Yeah, so it's the so I think it's the lead singer of the Bronski Beat, which was like a big gay band in the early 80s that actually were like they were like, we're gay, we're out there, like at a time when, you know, not the best thing always for people to do in the entertainment world in the early 80s. So I think he left that band and then went on to this one and did this song, and then I think he went on to Erasure or something like that. Yeah. So
I
might be confusing that. I might be confusing that a bit, but
I believe whatever you say, I believe. It's truth, gospel. I thought it was an interesting cover to the song. I thought that it was the theatrics of the actual song would have been something that they both could have played up on. I didn't enjoy whatever Tia was doing. She was doing a lot more, but it wasn't good to me. And Joe still was worse enough. Like, okay, so yeah, this was gonna ask you. What happened at the end when he like walked over? Like, was that part of his gig, like his gimmick, or was it like he decided that he gave up? Like, what? How did that at the end? Him walking up over to her and she's like doing a death drop.
I think that he thought that that was part of his performance of just point at Tia, and I think he was still performing. Like I think that was part of his idea of how to do that song. I don't like. I really do. Like, I don't think he was giving up. I think that was him trying.
I didn't understand it at all.
And then like there was one point where Tia ran up the runway and like fell or did something, and you saw him sort of fall to the floor, but there wasn't like a move or anything. He just sort of like fell on the floor, and I was like, what is he doing? Like,
It was weird, and I thought Tia was bad, but Joe was boring. So boring is worse than bad in my eyes and in Ru's eyes, and Joe is gone again. Tia Coffee stays in this competition, and I'm going to pray for her again that she figures it out. I think she needs to be partnered with Ahura to give her some style, because Ahura really, I think, elevated her look last week, at least in the challenge. Like, I know they were playing Essex Girls, but she looked better than she's looked in a lot. Like, I didn't like her wig, but she looked better. So she needs to maybe have Ahura's or somebody else's influence other than her own. And as Joe leaves the stage, he says, "Mr. Childs, I'm ready for my close-up." Thank you, Joe. Never see you never. I'm sad. You didn't impress me coming back.
I'm sad that Estina didn't come back. I'm sad that Cherry Valentine didn't come back. I think either one of them would have at least tried harder.
Yeah. So sad. What a sad day. Sad, 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 sad.
Yeah. I do think I may be wrong, but I'm going to put the call in here. I think that the 4 that won, I think that there's a very strong possibility that will be the final 4.
You think that UKD is going to be the final 4? I think
so.
Would anybody else sneak in?
Ellie has been too quiet, and this was her chance to not be Lawrence's partner and was on another team, and I don't think she stood out. Tia has not been doing great, and I don't think Sister has it in her. to get to the end. So
you're right. You're right. Well, Lawrence is smarter. He picked the better people for sure.
And Joe could have taken any of them.
He had first pick. So very surprising. Yeah. But I loved UKD. I was really happy that they did really well. I'm actually going to go and find the song right now and download it.
Yeah.
If I can find a link, I'll put the link in the comment box below so you guys can click on it and listen to those two performances again, if it's something that I can make a link for. Are you putting it on?
No. I'm excited. I'm like, all right, I can't wait to see that. So.
I'll put it in the comments if I can find a good link to it or whatnot. Find something. But are you doing anything right now that you want to share with the peoples?
Nothing too exciting this week. It's no, but maybe we've got something that might be coming up. Are we gonna announce it?
Let's announce it. So we have decided that we're going to cover The Amazing Race Australia season. What is it? Season 2?
I think it technically is I think it's their 5th season of Australia.
It was hard to find because I feel like they must have had reboots because like there was one in like 2002 and then some in 2012. So I'm not sure what year it is, but the one it's airing right now. We're behind.
2021.
Correct. We're behind right now. So we're going to start a watch of it. So going back to the beginning, and we're going to come live at 6 p.m. on Monday, February 15th. And then every Monday after at 6 p.m., we will do a live commentary about The Amazing Race US, Australia. So if you are and watching us and what games maybe that Phil has for me to play or any survey he has for us to fill out, please participate with us because it's going to be super fun. And also March 7th, I'm going to be making my first appearance on a new reality channel called Reality Pop. And so I haven't named what my segments are going to be called. I'm going to be taking care of a lot of the Big Brother content on this channel. And so Reality Pop, Big Brother stuff will be me, Chantele at Reality Realness. So Phil is most likely going to make an appearance, but there may be an opportunity for him to be like a permanent co-host, depending on what's happening, whatnot. I don't know what. We don't know yet because there's no actual.
We haven't talked about this.
It's it. Don't worry, you're in.
All right.
Well, right now though, it's still I'm doing. Did I not tell you this whole thing?
Yes, you told me some of it, but I didn't know it was happening for sure.
It's happening, but what I'm doing first is this is what might interest you. And so basically there's no content because there's no Big Brother right now. And so they were asking me like, okay, do you want to do like a rewatch of some of like the really good seasons or do like top 10 lists or do like who's the best, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, well, because I'm a game person and all of us love games, that maybe we go season by season and take a look back at all the games within the season. So just like do a complete look at like every HOH, every veto, every blah, 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 all the different challenges and have a little commentary about it per season.
Love it.
And then at the end, because most of the people I know are game creators, maybe figure out a little game that we could play with if we have like a co-host or whatnot. So Nick, as you know, said that he would be willing to do something with me within that regard on a regular basis. But I know that you would love to come on and chat about a season for sure. So that was why I was saying like, maybe come on. And then later on down the road, I do feel that you would want to participate in doing a night recap of Big Brother when we have the season going. So that would be the permanent opportunity that would be in the future.
Wonderful.
Okay, so I'm not trying to put you on the spot there, but that is really what's going on right now. Nothing has really started yet completely, but I'm just conceptualizing doing a look back of games and the evolution of games on competitive reality television and Big Brother. So that's kind of where I was thinking to go down basically week to week. And that's going to be 22, 23 with over the top weeks of content. And if we put in Big Brother Canada, that's another 8 weeks. So we have 30 weeks of content that we can be talking about games. And so I know that you are starting your own game
thing.
network game thing. Games nights. New nights.
Yes.
And so I think that it would be fun for you to even get some new games or try out new games. And so, yeah, so that's what I thought it would be really fun to take a look at the games of Big Brother. And I know
I love it. I will be honest and let you know that I already have with my friends, we have a Big Brother 8 drinking game that we always play.
Okay, so when we get to Big Brother 8, you will 100% be on that.
Right, yes. And there's no way not to get drunk on it because it basically is Amber Cry's drink.
Oh, yes. So
Perfect.
I'm excited to see how that goes because it's a look that I haven't seen any other like networks do the game strategy and how the games have evolved over the last 20 years. You know, because now we're talking about like everybody has to be a comp beast, but before like they were a little more wacky. Like they're like, you know, names, these food comps. Like it was a lot different with the games back in the day. And so I think it'll be really fun to take a look at them and then figuring out a way to bring another game to life. And so it could be a way for you to workshop things, new things for your future game stuff. So I'm excited about it. And I thought that you would be too. So surprise, you guys.
Fantastic.
If you made it to this part, then you get to hear me say this again. Please subscribe. Love you guys. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I think we're at 667 right now. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Just a couple more hundred to go. Well, 323. But we're almost there. 33. Hey, yay. It's
That's
happening.
right.
Please subscribe right down below. We're going to put those links in the bottom. If you want to follow us on any other social medias, we should be down in the comments there as well. Do you have one last word to say, Phil, or is that it? Sayonara.
We're almost we're halfway through this. I think the goal was 20. So come on, I need some more subscribers on Twitter. Reality Phils.
Reality Phils, get your reality Phils, please. Please. Come on, 20. 20's not so hard.
20. Love it.
Guys, talk to you guys soon.